Happy Halloween, everyone. Here's our official daytime walkthrough of our 2025 Simpsons Treehouse of Horror haunt. We get the sun a little bit in our face, but I think you guys can see it okay. So here's the front. We have the large Springfield Cemetery sign up there. That was a last minute detail because that is a wind sail. And then you can see the graveyard in the front. Looks really good. Messed up with all the cool branches and everything. And then I will, I will pan over here and then I will have to slip through because we have the gate locked, as always. And then the trick-or-treaters will be allowed in at about 5:30. And there's Kodos and Kang, they're at the very end. But I will show it to you guys now. This little baby Maggie. And we've got the inside of the UFO, their screen showing the Earth, and then a console in the front that's lit up with a backlight. And I got also some really cool rope lights at the top that have kind of like a UFO kind of sequence, which is really cool. Tons of spotlights on the alien, so hopefully that's enough and people can take some cool pictures. All right, so I'm gonna pause and then I'm gonna go to the front as if we went through the cemetery. Hold on one second. Okay, so now I've gone through the cemetery gate and we first see some of the tombstones from the original Treehouse of Horror, so like the first 3 or 4 years where they go through the cemetery with a little introduction. I got 3 of them. The ones I thought were the funniest. Made those especially just for this year. You can see the rest of the cemetery. All these trees. I did a different thing this year. I sewed up some black fabric that I had, and then I spray painted it gray rather than doing the shrink wrapping with the plastic, because the idea is that I can reuse it and it's much faster, but doing it initially was not fast. But now that I have it, I can set up the trees much better. So I've got all in the background. So here's the scene, Easy Bake Coven. Okay. Got Patty and Selma. At night, the cauldron bubbles and there's lights inside as well as lights in the fire. They lit up really nice. And then there's Marge flying in the tree. And so there's your Easy Bake Coven scene. Very, very cool. And I just got one more tombstone here, my favorite Gene Wilder one, and then a little pumpkin patch with some leaves. And then everyone turns the corner and then you get the Dracula scene with Mr. Burns. I got lights in the lanterns and I got that little bat up there. He'll be flapping around with his red eyes. So here's a couple scenes of him. It's pretty cool. I'll take pictures. He has a cloth outfit, so I sewed the outfit. The rest is clay. His hands are foam, and then he's just got a PVC structure with some padding inside, so he's not like completely solid. Most of the characters this year are not solid. I did the heads, sculpted the heads and the arms and hands and feet, but a lot of them are just padding. That way I can get more. I think I did almost 20 characters this year. So I can get more done with just kind of cutting some corners like that. I do have some solid ones and I'll point it out. So here's the super happy fun slide. I just had to do that because it was just funny. And I don't really want the kids to do this, but it does move up and down. It's just more of a prop. So then they turn and then they see this scene. Sorry, it's a little bit in the sun. So we got Bart in the living room as he turns Homer into the Jack-in-the-Box. And then the TV is right in front here with Bart watching Itchy and Scratchy. This is all wood, painted with some foam and recycled parts for the antenna. And we got a fun spotlight on that, so that's pretty cool. I'll have to give my husband credit for the painting. I wasn't gonna have that, and I completely forgot about it, to be honest. And he's like, you gotta have the boat painting. I'm like, what boat painting? So I looked at the picture and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. There's a boat painting up there. Okay, let me paint that up real quick. And then strung that up. That was a last minute thing. But that made it complete, I think. It looks a lot like their living room. Okay, so then we turn and the back of the alien is all blacked out. And then we come around here. That's the pile of candy. Music will be set up. And then we get to the forbidden donut scene. So Homer's being asked for a donut. He'll sell his soul. Then we got Flanders as the devil. He is solid. So he's on a structure, on a piece of wood. A wood structure with PVC, and then he's completely clayed or foam and foam hands, but he's completely solid. So from head to toe, he's real. Homer is just the head and the arms. Everything else is just stuffing with like a cloth or like a real shirt. And I made that tie out of foam. I needed that specific colors, which I don't know, they make ties like that. So I had to make that fake. And then the little devil, he's completely solid. He's one of the first characters I made this year, actually. The little chef devil. And then the donut is foam with electrical wires cut up in pieces, painted, and then hot glued on there with a spray finish for to make it shiny. The only thing that's like real is just this plastic lid or bowl that I bought at the Dollar Tree. And then the console, you guys saw me making that. It's just a bunch of garbage, cardboard, foam, toothpicks, bottle caps, anything I could find. And then the bottom's blacked out, and there you go. Let me back up a little bit so you can see the whole thing a little better. And I'm just using a regular light in my garage, which is perfect because it's daylight or regular light in the nuclear power plant. So there you go. All right, it's one of my favorite episodes. I love that one. Okay, and then they continue through the garage. And then we get to the Raven scene with Homer being terrorized by the Bart Raven. And then there's the Lenore picture up there. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, you can see it. And this lights up. There's a spotlight right there. Lights up pretty good. I found this table in the house. I just brought that out because he actually has a table next to him. And I just put a fake little candle that actually lights up with batteries. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, he's just a sculpted head, foam hands, and then I had to buy that robe because I don't have any fabric that purple color. And so I wanted that to look just like the cartoon. So I bought that, and then there's just like a sheet covering him that's roughly the color that he's wearing in the cartoon with the red chair. And then they come out this way, out of the garage, and then into the backyard. And here's the collector's lair scene. So with Stretch Dude and Clobber Girl, they're gonna go and rescue Xena from the collector. So the collector is foam. I did not have time to make him out of clay, but he came out fine. He's miniaturized because of forced perspective, so we can make it look taller than actually what it is. That way the facade in the back only had to go up to 8 feet, not any taller. It could go taller, but it always makes me nervous going taller. I say that. We've done stuff pretty tall in the past, but it was just easier, and I didn't want to buy any more wood because it's getting so expensive. So that's what we did, and it worked out really well because the platform up there is perfect, and then all the characters. And so Clobber Girl punches through the wall, all the rock and stone goes flying. All this is string on fishing line. Those are pieces of foam that I just punched through. And then there's Stretch Dude, Bart, coming to the rescue. and gonna battle the collector up there. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. So you've got the whole collection in the back, you know, all the pictures I showed you guys. Spock and Gilligan and the robot from Lost in Space, 7 of 9, Matt Groening, Doctor Who, Xena, and then Yasmin Breath from you know, swimming show, Baywatch. I was gonna say Babe Watch, but just about that. So there they are, all the way up there in bags, and then there's the collector with his laser gun, and he's gonna shoot down on Bart. So this was pretty much the way I envisioned it. It came out really nicely, and I'm really happy with it. As long as the fishing line holds, which I think it will, then this is gold. This is great. I'm so happy. None of that could go up until the last minute because that's all cardboard, and it would have completely melted. So this was last minute setup. So yay! It's fantastic. I really like it. Super fun. I don't know any people who will remember this episode, but regardless, it's really comic booky, and I think the kids will like it. And then they turn this way, and then we have a bunch of spiders all lit up with black light. Super fun. I can already see that's starting to fall a little bit. That's okay. The wind comes in the afternoon, and then it dies down, and there we go. That fixes that. But yeah, I got some creepy spiders just to kind of fill this space. I kind of run out of pep. I was like, so many scenes. Almost 20 characters, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I think we're good. There's plenty of space for people to go through. Then I have this shimmering curtain, like they're gonna go on the spaceship, and then when we come to the end, there's the donation box with a little leprechaun up there, the mean little leprechaun, if you recall from the couple episodes. And then there's our trick or treat table with the cauldron with all the candy in it. And then we come to Kodos and Kang. We got the book, How to Cook for 40 Humans with the space dust. Super funny. And of course, baby Maggie. I just thought she would be cute to add. I wanted to make sure I did all the characters. I didn't really have her in any other scene. So I thought, well, let me just make her as the alien, and then I'll stick her up on one of the alien's arms. And I didn't know how that was going to work out, but we managed to do that with a piece of PVC and just slid her right on there. These guys are 7 feet tall, solid paper mache and clay with a wood structure and chicken wire underneath. The teeth are made of foam, that really thick foam you can get for cosplay, you know, to make like armor and stuff. That works out super well with just a ton of paint. And then if you saw my back videos, the eyes are a paper mache yoga ball that's sliced in half, sized down. That's how I got the 2 eyes. Glued that on in pieces with flaps on the edges just to get it on there, and then I clayed right over it. That worked out really well. It's perfect size, perfect proportion. And then we've got the backdrop, like I said, with the lights and the black light. So that's this year's haunt. Super happy with it. I love this theme. It was super fun to do. I love them all. I mean, I can't think of one I've disliked, but this one just cracked me up. It was so fun to do. Always loved The Simpsons. There's a cemetery sign. Looks just like it in the cartoon with the dripping slime. That'll look great when it's lit up. I think that people are really gonna like it this year. Have a lot of fun, regardless if they've seen all the characters or not. They're just gonna, I think they'll recognize the main ones. And yeah, we did a lot of episodes, seasons 2 through 5, and I think 9 and 11. I think 9 is Easy Bake Coven, and I think 11 is the Xena. Desperately Seeking Xena, I think. I can't remember. I know it's one of those. I should have wrote it down, but you guys know. You can Google it. That is 2025. I hope everyone has a safe and fun Halloween. Thank you for watching, and I will post a nighttime video hopefully tonight, but if not tonight, then first thing tomorrow morning. Happy Halloween, everybody.